Hi everyone, it's Lucy from Sweet Poppy Stencils. Today I'm going to do a quick video of how to use our stencil medium. We're going to be using our gold stencil medium, and then we're going to be using some of our new dual tones and showing you the effect that you can get. And with this you're going to get a real luxurious finish to it. So with this I've used 4 colours of the dual tones. The gold dust, I've used Venetian red, so Venetian red, gold dust, and then azure seas and iridescent peacock. We're using also our circle brush. This comes in a circle finish, slightly different to our other ones. It's the same type of dense bristles, but it also comes in a lovely little compact holder that is just perfect. It's perfect for your micas, it's perfect for blending your inks as well. You know, you can put your colours on there if you've got red, blue, greens. It's just brilliant. We're also going to be using our usual tools, so the usual magnetic sheet and our stencil tape. There it is, and our stencil tape. So let's get started. So move this to one side. So we are using the Heart Mandala stencil. This is a pretty new stencil, and part number is SP1 317. So we also need a snout-nosed heat gun. These are more intense in heat, so the hairdryer type don't give you the same finish as what you need. Make sure you have a towel ready as well. So what I need is my anti-static pad, really important, and you're going to give it a good old pounce in. If you don't, you're going to find it very difficult to lift your micas off. Now with the dual tones, they are very different to all our other micas because they're a larger flake, and this is what gives the sparkle. So, you know, if you're not into mess, probably maybe is not the technique for you, but you know, give it a go, see what you think of it. You don't have to use a heat gun. You can leave it air dry and then polish it off with a cloth. But just give these a go and see how you feel. So there we go, 6 sides. We're all screened off all the way around. We've not tapped off the anti-static. It's really important that you leave it there. So we're going to give it a good old dollop along the top too. I've got a bowl of water ready for my dirty stencil to go in, making sure I'm all stuck down, and 45-degree angle, and it's on and it's up. Checking that I'm all full. Lovely, and I've got all the areas covered. So I popped a dollop because I had a little bit that was not showing, and that is it. You do not need to push it in, you're pulling towards you, that is where the pressure is. So again, going in, you can either baby wipe or wet cloth your tools. I've got a bowl of water and I'll wash up at the end. Lid on your medium, and make sure you keep the rim of your pot always clean, because if you don't, you're going to get bits in it, and when you open up, those bits will flake inside, and then you'll end up getting lumps in your medium. So we're taking 3 sides off, one of the top ones, tease up, nice and quick. Remember, it's an air dry product, you haven't got time to faff, and drop the stencil in the water. You will clean that after. So you've now got a fab image. So I'm going to pop underneath. Let me just fold it in half so I've got a little funnel. Lovely. Okay. Fine. So, as I said, if you're not into mess, which I'm not, I try and keep it as controlled as possible. So I'm popping a tea towel down, and that will trap all the mess for you. So we're going in with, let's go iridescent peacock first. I love this one, it's probably one of my favourites. So So we're tapping over. As I said, what gives it the sparkle is it's a bigger flake. So that is why you get that bling. So yes, I'm going in with gold, and I'm using gold because it's going to give that beautiful finish. So brush your bristles off. And this is Azure Seas. Try and keep my pots as reasonably clean as possible. Try not to contaminate them. So this is why I use a brush as well, because if I tip from the pot, what's going to happen, it'll hit and it will come up, and that's not good for you. So you need to control what you're sprinkling. You're giving it a gentle, almost like a little dusting. So again, in with Azure Seas and in with more gold. Then we're going in a bit more red, and you're only using a tiny little bit. You're not using much at all. It's probably not even a quarter teaspoon. So if you were going to be using on cream card, I would recommend that you would flick over and flick off that way. With black it's a lot easier, so I tend to move it around a lot easier. So you can see. So what medium has, it's got a glue inside, so it allows us to adhere anything ultra fine. So your glitters, your glass beads, mica powders, embossing powders, so many things, you know, your flock, anything that's a dust it will stick to. So I'm trying not to tap this too much. Lovely. You don't have to cover it all. You can have some of the paste showing. It's the paste that is going to give us the beautiful finish. So I'm popping that in my bin. So you can see I'm completely covered. Yeah. So if you left it, obviously I've done this on white card, and air dry, you would just polish it off and you would have this beautiful shiny finish. But because we're going to give it a texture, so we are going to be heating it, we want texture to it. So we'll leave that on. Actually, I'm going to leave that on. I'm just going to flick it over, so good hard flick, and then in with your heat gun. Move your mica pots out of the way so you don't hit those with a heat gun. And it's about an inch from the image. And all you're going to do is wait for it to bubble, leave it a couple of seconds, and then chase it to the next section. Leave it bubble, and then move it to the next section. You will find some bits will flatten. That's how it is. It was never designed for this effect. This is just a happy accident. But it just bubbles beautiful. It doesn't blister. I do find that the glosses will slightly blister, whereas the pearl range of our mediums give this beautiful dimension bubble. So you're heating it along, moving it along. Now, you can overheat it, so you have to be careful. It's a bit like when you first do embossing powder, you always overheat, and it almost melts like chocolate, doesn't it? So this is the same. You can overheat it, and what will happen is it will start cracking off if you've overheated it. So if you think that you've left it enough, that's fine, but just leave it maybe about 15 minutes to cool down and then give it a gentle brush. If you're not sure, then I would leave it cool right down for about half an hour to an hour and then brush it. The more you do it, the better you will get. So mind you don't burn yourselves. especially with these heat guns. And then you're turning over and you're heating inside now. You are going to warp your card. I'm on a 300 GSM card. I always use a very, very good quality cardstock. You know, I wouldn't do this on glossy because you would melt the surface. There are many, many suppliers of cardstock. So back over. Checking that I've got all my bits and I'm happy. And then what you would do is you would then wriggle that back into shape whilst it's a little bit warm. If when you went like this and it started cracking, you've gone too far. There you go. So you're going to leave that now cool right down. So with your brush, now I've got two. I'll go in with my dirty one first. It does need a clean. It's not that dirty, but so you clean off. Now, if you leave yours cool down, your bubbles aren't going to flatten. You've got to remember, mine is still very warm. So let me see if I can get it cool a little bit. So go in and clean, go in and clean, and again and clean, again, and then you're turning, and again, cleaning your brush. So all we're doing is we're moving the mica residue at the moment, and we're cleaning. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera too much, and we're cleaning. Cleaning off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick it over the bin, get my brush, there we go, and it starts moving. So we're turning, so we're not just hitting it one way. Got to remember to keep putting it in shot, sorry. And I'm very gentle. It's the same as if you're blending, if you're using these for your ink blending. So nice little handle to hold it, circular motion. And it will take time to move, but it will start shifting because you had a lot of mica residue on there. Whoops, and they're a bigger flake as well. So again, clean your brush, and get yourself a clean cloth. I've got one on my lap, hopefully it's dry, and I'm going to just brush my bristles. Lovely. And then you'll start seeing this shifting over the bin again, back with your brush, so you're going to start seeing your mica shift. So my brush will be cleaned after this. I'm just going to go in with my real nice clean ones. There we go. So all I'm doing is I'm polishing it. But just make sure when you finish that you clean your brush off, get a nice piece of kitchen roll or a tea towel and give it a good old clean. So all we've done then is fold that up, that will get washed. Lovely. So let me just brush my mica off this one. Oops. So all we've done is a little bit of matinee layering and that then gives us that luxurious finish. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it picks it up. There you go. You can see how shiny and metallic it is. I hope you enjoyed that technique. Don't forget to tune into our YouTube channel. Look for the Sweet Poppy stencil tutorials, and we'll be back again soon. Many thanks.